Hey guys, well, I am happy to say that I finally got my GTS back in the garage. As you can see, it's straight back from the New York International Auto Show. It's still got the 3M colors all over the bodywork. Matt from My MC Designs or MC Designs is going to do a full wrap for me, but since it was like this at the show and I just wanted to get the car back yesterday from the show, I just told him just to leave everything on it. So I drove it back as is, and the colors that are on here right now, I'm told are the latest or 2017 new colors that 3M has added to their vinyl wrapping arsenal. One of the other colors that was there was Paul's GT3, 2014 GT3, and he was having the Riviera Blue wrap done on his car, and I saw that. It looked awesome. It was pretty close to being done. There was door handles and some other small bits that Matt didn't get to during the show. But I'm really impressed. Like this green, and I'll have to do a close-up of this at some point. This is the gloss green Envy color, and to some it may look really obnoxious. It looks like the Incredible Hulk, as I tell people. But when you combine this with an anthracite silver or anthracite gray color, it's such a cool contrast. I've been talking with Matt about redoing the entire design based on this gloss green Envy and the anthracite color. There's some other colors up here on the hood and stuff. I'll have to carry the camera around and show you. This one right here is gloss flip deep space, as you can see, and I'll move the camera around in a second, but as you change, it's one of those flip colors that as you change the lighting, it changes hues of, looks like this is mainly purples and some reds and some dark, some black. One thing I have to say about having your car in an auto show, and this is nothing negative towards Supercar Garage, who hosted the booth, or Matt certainly for the vinyl designs and things. But I think a lesson learned for the group of us is that we have to protect these cars more from the audience. I am now noticing, it was hard to see in the Javits Center in the light, but you could see where people had touched the car and things like that. Now I actually see, especially back here, there's this translucent film called Sunburst Gold. I mean, people literally looks like they were picking at it. There's picking around this edge. It looks like somebody was getting their finger under it. Here, there actually are marks that look like somebody's fingernail. And there's a piece of the vinyl missing right here, where somebody must have pulled it up. I don't know what the hell they were doing, but it looks pretty bad. I mean, it wasn't like that. I'm sure when Matt put it on, I doubt he would put it on if it looked like that. So that must have happened during the show. And I noticed, there's all sorts of rub marks, and obviously people were touching these things with their hand. And I think in the future I'm going to have to stipulate that if my car is used in a show, some of you are probably going to say, well, this is common sense. But next time, if my car is in a show ever again, I'll have to stipulate that it's roped off, because I don't want to get worse damage or have worse damage done because of people. And just a funny story that happened yesterday when I hadn't seen my car for 2 weeks. Yesterday I got to the show and was excited to see the car, and I'm walking towards the car, and as I'm walking towards the car, I see people just open the doors and get in and shut the doors and, hitting the buttons and moving the mirror and all sorts of stuff. And I'm like, wait a minute. As far as I know, the car should be locked at all times. There shouldn't be any people in the cars. These are not show cars in that sense of, a manufacturer letting people experience the car. So I was like shocked, and I wasn't sure. I mean, were they letting people in my car? Were they not? And then I realized, that the reason the people got in the car is because they tried the door handles, and I was standing near the car with a spare key. And I have the remote entry entry and go, whatever they call it. So you can just walk up to the car, and if the key's nearby, open the door handle and get in. So right when I happened to walk up to the car, these people had just happened to reach for the handle and pulled it. And because it opened, they got in. It was no big problem. They didn't do any damage or anything like that. It was kind of funny because I was like, wait, you guys told me you wouldn't let people in the car. I was a little worried because in the car I had my, registration and my, the paperwork for the car is in the glove box, it's in there. And I didn't know what else I had left in the car, to be honest with you. So it was kind of funny. So let me, I'm going to do more video on this, probably better light, but let me move the camera around so you can see. Okay, so I'm going to try to do this with the light behind me, as somebody has pointed out. But back here is where, in this area, is where there's some damage to the vinyl, where people actually, looks like somebody dug with their nail and pulled up little pieces of it, and there's a scratch right there in the Dragonfire red vinyl from somebody pulling up the edge of this piece that's overlapping. So it's kind of disconcerting that people would just do that at a show, pick at the vinyl in a car. I don't know if they think that's part of the demo or not, but, and this is the gloss flip deep space. Man, the light here is kind of horrible, the white balance. So I'll have to do this at another time. But you can see as I move this camera around, that is pretty awesome. I can't imagine if I did the whole car that color, that'd be kind of neat, kind of cool. This is the Riviera Blue right here. That's the color that Paul did his GT3. I never really liked brown colors, brown cars, brown colors. This is a matte brown metallic, as you can see, it's written on there. That's actually kind of cool looking. And again, you can see where people put their hands all over it, and that's the problem with matte wraps, is people with, people can actually touch it and get things all over the, just the oils from their fingers and things like that. This color down here is kind of cool. It's Satin Vampire Red. And I don't know, it's interesting. But this is the one that really catches me, because as you move around the light on that green, this is the Gloss Green Envy. It's pretty amazing how it picks up the curves and the lighting. And again, this is kind of crappy lighting in this garage, but and then dark gray, there's actually a cool, right here, it may be hard to pick up in the camera, but with the lighting, but there's a carbon fiber that's semi-translucent and it's textured. So as you touch it, you can feel the carbon fiber. It's not a gloss though finish, so it doesn't look like a carbon fiber piece, but you can give any body color or any vinyl as an overlay. You could use this and create a carbon fiber look. And here's gloss liquid copper, that's kind of cool. Gloss black rose. I thought Matt said something like they may discontinue, they may not offer that anymore. I don't know why. And then this is another one that's cool, and you can see it had to wrap around the curves there, so it's not perfectly lined up, but the Satin Perfect Blue down in this corner, that's really a nice color too. And there were some colors on the roof that he did that were pretty cool. That's just a gloss white gold sparkle. It has a little bit of gold flake in it. This is a silver over laminate. Right here, it's hard to see, but you can see it gives like a silver dust. So it's great to have the car back. I'm really digging this gloss flip deep space color. That's a tongue twister. Again, as I move around, I can see the variations in the color are pretty cool. But anyway, it's nice to have the car back. I'll be talking with Matt from MC Designs this week about a color scheme or a full design for a full wrap, where he has incorporated the anthracite and the gloss green envy into a design for the car. And for now, I'm going to probably just take some time to clean up the car. I'm going to do some projects coming up in the next week as time permits. Probably get the center locks off, do a full inspection and cleaning there. I may strip off one of those pieces of vinyl that looks like somebody dug their nails into it, make sure that there's no damage under the paint. I don't think there is. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you will subscribe. I have a whole bunch of videos that I'm going to keep putting together and keep this this train going. If you have some thoughts or comments, opinions on some of the colors and where you think I should go with the design, I'm always happy to hear that. Make sure you check out Matt's company website, mymcdesigns.com, because you'll get some ideas there of some pretty cool wraps he's done for race cars and owner and personal cars. And you know, I'm sure somebody's going to say that I shouldn't do any wrap, just leave the car as is, and that's fine too. But and I've enjoyed it like that. But I like to personalize my cars and make them something different than what everybody else has. So you know, I'm going to go with it. I'm going to go with a full design, and you know, Matt does an incredible job. So I'm hoping that you know, the design he shows me is something we can get moving on pretty quickly.